Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And you're listening to Forgotten Cinema's 30-Second Ad. Forgotten Cinema is a podcast where we talk about films that, for a variety of reasons, seem to have been forgotten by audiences. We talk notes about production and release, why we believe these films were forgotten, and whether or not we think they're worth a revisit. Forgotten Cinema is available wherever you listen to your podcast and on ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com. So grab your popcorn and soda. Please notice exits are available at the front and rear of the auditorium. And be sure to check out Forgotten Cinema.
Are you ready to be scared to death? You joined us for Scary Larry's House of Universal Horrors. Now prepare yourself for Scary Larry's Pint of Horrors. And don't forget, as always, these guys swear like fucking sailors.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Aquí no puede haber entrado nadie.
Vale, pero enciéndela, por favor.
¡Ya está! Mierda.
¿Dónde estamos?
Yo qué sé.
Well, Pint of Comics is out the window. Scary Larry's Pint of Horrors is back, and this is episode 8. We are about to record the 8th episode of this brand new series we've been doing for, almost 7 months now. Of course, that means that Scary Larry Dwyer's here. Scary Larry, what's going on, man?
Oh, you know, just hanging out in the house for 24 months straight.
Yeah,
Whatever.
2 years. 2 years in the house is pretty good. Manster, how you doing? You've been in the house, but you're getting out working every day like me.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I've been harboring a secret.
Oh,
Yeah, it just came out this week.
You just came out this week? That's a secret?
No, the secret.
Oh,
I've got dangerously sharp elbows.
what happened?
Dangerously sharp.
Oh, is this an excuse to show us your biceps?
No, I went to the chiropractor this week, and I've been to him plenty of times in the past, and all of a sudden he goes, "Whoa, dude, what's with the elbows?" Yeah, thanks for that. What do you mean? He goes, "They're very sharp." I know, trying to give me some sort of syndrome, but no, it's just fucking sharp elbows. Is all.
Did you mention to him that he's a chiropractor and not a doctor, so he should probably just shut the fuck up?
You better stop shitting on chiropractors.
Okay, all right. You know that you or me could be a chiropractor, right?
I think I am.
Yeah, come over. I'll grab you from around the waist behind. I'll squeeze. Something will happen.
Yes.
Apparently, you don't really know about chiropractic.
Yeah, I think this is my certificate that's saying that I'm a chiropractor.
Yeah, after Larry became a chiropractor, he kept that on his fridge for a year. His mom was like, "Good job, Larry."
Yep.
I had a eye doctor one time at the Walmart Vision Center, so take that as you may. See, I've worn contacts my whole life. Since I've worn glasses since I was in first grade, contacts since 9th grade, and I've always had this thing where if I were to look up really quickly, my contacts trail. They don't follow my eyes up. My eyes go up, the contacts slide up a second later. It's a weird thing. Mm-hmm. And this one
science.
It is science. This one Walmart optometrist said to me, and I thought it was either the coolest thing a doctor's ever said to me or a really weird pickup line from a dude, was I had the most unique corneal curvature he had ever seen. And I was like, well, That and a bottle of fucking piss ain't gonna get me nothing. But
You sure you didn't say cornhole curvature?
that was the week later after our first date. You have got the most special cornhole curvature I have ever plumbed out. We're gonna get to 5 questions. Who are the 5 questions for, though? This is something we've been doing lately with newer guests. He's been on several times, but Stu from Ghosts of the Stratosphere is hanging out with us live from Western PA, right outside of Pittsburgh. What town are you actually in, Stu?
West Mifflin.
West
Mifflin.
That have something to do with Dunder Mifflin?
No, that's the other end of the state.
Oh,
right,
okay.
As far away from us.
You've got one up on us because we are in a state that would fit into your state probably 72 times.
Oh, yeah, a couple times over, yeah. And we're not even a big state, but you guys are very tiny.
Pennsylvania's good size. Well, again, this is coming from someone that lives in Connecticut his whole life. So Stu goes to the Stratosphere. Check out gotstratosphere.com. New articles every day, podcasts, the whole 9 yards. He's been on several of our shows lately. He is going to be on another show after we record this. So I said, why don't you're actually a fan. You've said very much that you enjoy the PMIs, the movie invitationals, and the Scary Larry
stuff, all the Scary Larrys with the mustard and crunchy Frankenstein socks and what have you.
Yeah.
And the luggage and Dracula. I love all that stuff. I feel like I listen to every single one of your guys' episodes, so I hear Larry all the time, and I have been on the show a couple times at this point, and we do the Connecticut Cult Classic watch parties. I feel like it's so weird. I've never actually talked to Larry, voice to voice before. Right. I just assume I've been on shows with him, but I have not.
Nope. First time for everything. Larry meets Stu. Stu meet Larry.
Hi.
It is a Connecticut. It's the Con-Pitt connection, we'll call it.
Oh,
big time.
That's a great name.
That is a good name. I might name the episode that. All right, Manster, you've got them written out for Stu. 5 questions. Let's gauge Stu and his personality and determine whether or not we want to have him come back on again.
My personality is poor. I don't want you to gauge that.
These are easy. Don't worry. Feel free to elaborate or just give a one-word answer, whatever you want.
All right.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes. Definitely pancakes. Waffles always have this weird, like when I picture waffles in my head, I think of Lego and I think of this or Eggos, Lego by Eggo. I always picture this like weird, this isn't real food consistency that feels like I'm chewing plastic. I don't like it. But pancakes, I think soft, fluffy, delightful. Yeah, that's what I want.
All right. Die Hard or Lethal Weapon?
Die Hard. You know what? I'm not a huge fan of either franchise. Like I won't turn either of them down, but the Lethal Weapons I can't remember much of. I saw them when I was younger. Die Hard has Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah.
Is that your favorite of the 3 of the 10, whatever it is now?
Yeah, Die Hard 3, the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
All right. Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side?
Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, that's a stupid answer. I'm sorry. That wasn't even me. Did I say that out loud? Was that out loud?
Stop it, Jalen.
Portals or force fields?
You know what? It's going to have to be portals. I always think teleporting is the best superpower.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You like that game, Portal?
I was real bad at it. It's a puzzle game. It wants you to think about things. I could get through several levels of it, and then it got to a point where it's just like, I don't want to think this much.
Yeah, I used to dream in portals after I was addicted to that game. Last one. Hell Charger or Black Beauty?
What was the first one?
Hell Charger.
Hell Charger. I guess it's going to be Black Beauty.
Because you don't know Hell Charger?
I don't know either of these things that you're talking about, but that one makes me think of the song "Whoa, Black Betty."
Lamb.
Hell Charger is the current Ghost Rider's vehicle, the car.
Oh.
And Black Beauty is Green Hornet's vehicle, right?
Oh, okay. So the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider?
Yes, Robbie Reyes,
okay.
yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with that then. I haven't read any Robbie Reyes, but he has a snazzy-looking car.
Yeah, the first series of Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider was really good. I hated the art. Very, very manga-y. Like, you might like it. You're a big guy on that stuff. I was not a fan of that, but all right. Good. Thank you, Manster. I think we give Stu on the Manster sliding scale 42. I'm going to give him a 42. Okay.
Right.
We won't let you know what that means.
forgot we were
don't want me
grading
to.
these.
You don't want me to weigh in on the anger for the Tales from the Dark Side thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Absolutely, go ahead.
No, I don't have to weigh in. I just love Tales from the Dark Side is like my child. Tales from the Crypt, I was a little older. So for me, Tales from the Dark Side was what I remember the most. I always thought Tales from the Crypt was a little corny.
Yeah.
With the Crypt Keeper and everything. Tales from the Dark Side, man, was just creepy. You had stories from Stephen King, George Romero. Maybe the best intro to a TV show of all time as well. Do you remember that intro with the black and like you're through the forest, and then you get the man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality, the whole thing. Man, now you know what? I'm actually gonna probably just leave the podcast now and go from the Dark Side.
Larry, I'm going to come up with a set of questions for you eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because you've been on
I'm
already
new to the
way
show,
more
so that's
times.
perfect.
Yeah.
Larry's been on 800 times, and we only have 140 shows. So, Tales from the Dark Side reminds me of being a kid and spending. So I lived in Middletown, Connecticut, and my grandfather lived here where I live now in Wallingford. And I used to spend weekends in Wallingford, and the bedroom that they had made up for me had a TV with cable, which was awesome because my TV at home didn't have cable. And I remember spending Saturday nights watching shows with my grandfather on Superstation TBS, which we didn't have in Middletown. They had in Wallingford. So I used to watch wrestling, NWA wrestling, which was on
the good stuff.
Yeah. And
Ric
then
Flair, Ric Flair back then.
The Road Warriors.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream.
The American Dream.
He had that giant,
dropping that big elbow on people.
That big birthmark that encompassed his entire side. It was like kitty to rib birthmark. But at like 6 o'clock on Sunday nights, it would be like Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah. And then it would be, who remembers this one? I bet you Stu doesn't remember it. Friday the 13th, the series.
Oh, I remember that because I was mad Jason wasn't in it.
Oh, so bad.
But Roby, right? Was her name Roby?
Yeah.
She was hot, redhead. Oh, Lloyd, do you remember that?
I was never interested in that.
Okay.
It's good. It's for the best. It was not good.
It was a weird show.
I was a little kid. And I loved Jason as a kid. I friggin' grew up watching Jason movies. And then there was that show, and I would watch it, and Jason wasn't on it, and I didn't understand. Like, little 9 or 10-year-old me was just like, no, Friday the 13th means Jason.
This is not Friday the 13th.
I still don't understand to this day. And, I should just look it up on Wikipedia because the computer has the internet. I should look it up because why was that title available? I don't get that.
I don't know either. I don't know the history behind it.
Because literally when that show was out, let's say like 86 to 89 or something, that was like prime time Friday the 13th time. It wasn't like 10 years after Friday the 13th, another show came out and, or another series came out. It was the same time.
Yeah,
I feel like whoever came up with the Friday the 13th TV show were the people who sat around and said, you know what everybody's favorite Halloween movie is? Halloween 3.
Oh, are you a hater? Are you one of those people?
I'm not a hater. I mean, I think it's appropriately reviewed as its place in history. Like, if you just took that movie, didn't attach the Halloween franchise to it, just called it Season of the Witch and released it on its own movie, no one would even remember that movie existed.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I think that's the only Halloween movie I haven't seen.
I love it.
You never saw? You didn't come? I showed 3.
Did you?
Yeah,
no, I never saw 3.
Yeah, that was before.
Before I started coming.
I showed the double feature. It was a Halloween double feature. It was that with Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah,
I didn't go to
that's now Trick or
before my
Treat.
time.
Trick or Treat is a fucking overrated movie.
That's not true at all.
No, it totally is.
And Jalen will fuck you up.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat
with little Sam kid.
Jalen right now is wearing a Sam shirt.
Yeah.
John.
She will bust you up.
Keep
John
her away
is
from
objectively wrong on this one.
Yeah,
Trick or Treat is fantastic.
Really, Lloyd? Have you seen this?
It's okay for me. Yeah. I don't have any bad feelings like you about it. So it's okay.
When I saw it, it was right after it had come out, and it was very hyped, and it came out on DVD, and I, probably Netflixed it through the mail. And what does that thing have, like 4 or 5 segments?
Yeah.
None of them to me. So I'm going to remember. There's like the opening bumper with the couple that get killed, right?
Yeah.
That's like a bookend, I think. Oh, the girl from True Blood, and they're werewolves in the end.
Anna Paquin.
Yeah. Okay. I love her, by the way, but that was garbage. The old man and the dog. The kids kill his dog. Right? Is that in it? That wasn't bad. That's all I remember.
The
That's
kids
it.
with the bus that the
The
bus driver
Halloween
drove
school
into
bus.
the quarry.
Oh yeah. Nope. Unmemorable. Just keep Jalen away from me. Let's talk rec. All right.
Yeah.
We're here for
Well,
rec.
before we get it, and I know we've already stepped all over different things. I just wanted to answer your question about the Friday the 13th series and why it was so weird.
Okay. Yeah. I want to know.
It was Canadian.
Oh,
Okay.
that'll teach us.
Yeah,
Watch Canadian.
it was originally supposed to be called the 13th Hour, which makes more sense if you remember the TV show, because it was kind of like superstition, blah blah blah.
Right.
However, the producer of this show was Frank Mancuso Jr., who was also a producer of the Friday the 13th films. And he said, well, if we use the Friday the 13th name, this is going to draw a bigger audience, and I can get that done.
Bait and switch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Plus Canadian.
Yeah. Canadian bait and switch.
That's
very
another
well,
good
like,
title.
You know what they have to say about that? Sorry.
Sorry.
So sorry.
My
Hey,
sister.
John, I got an idea for you.
Yeah.
You should rename your podcast Pint O Comics featuring Justin Timberlake. He's not actually here.
Yeah.
But I bet a lot more people will listen if you
Yeah.
just call it that.
It's a good idea, Stu. It's a very good
or
idea.
not even Pino Comic. Just call it Justin Timberlake.
No, I'm thinking I'll just call the show Avengers Endgame, and everybody will want to see it.
Perfect.
But they'll never come back to see more.
Well, Stu, but we won't talk about that right now. Yeah, it's kind of like how Canada gives you ham, but tells you it's bacon. You know?
Bullshit.
Right?
They
That's
gotta stop
absolute
that.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Oh no, that's not.
Right.
No, that's not ham.
Bacon doesn't
That's
come in
bacon.
a circle.
Yeah. my sister, probably 20 years ago, married a Canadian gentleman, and he's a great guy. He is from Canada, from Ontario. They live in Ottawa. And in the last 20 years, I've slowly watched my sister become a Canadian more and more. Like, she really does the like, so you gonna go see mom and dad this Christmas, eh? And I'm like, what? Like, I'm used to it now, but it has happened. It has happened. So
Do you answer no way, eh?
no way, you hoser. hose hound.
Yeah, I'm going to the brewery.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Montreal is a beautiful city.
Yeah. Yep.
Canada's great. Canada's great.
Only part of Canada I ever went to was Montreal, and it was a weekend, and it was 21 years old. It was a great weekend. Awesome city.
Yeah.
We went in February. Cold. We're Connecticut people, right? And I'm sure Stu is used to it. There's a difference between Connecticut cold and Montreal, Canada cold, and that is a fucking cold up there.
Yeah, I've never been to Montreal. I've only been to Niagara and Toronto.
Toronto. I want to see Toronto. All right.
Toronto's awesome.
Let's talk about Spain, right? So we put out the votes. Larry, do you have the numbers here with us?
You're not gonna fucking fool me this time.
No. All right.
Yeah.
So,
I got 'em.
So far, if you haven't been checking us out, this is the idea behind the Pint of Horrors. Larry came up. So we did last year. We did the series Stu alluded to. It was the Universal House of Horrors, and we did 8 episodes. And truly, I think they are 8 of our best episodes ever. Funny. Really, really informative, I think. And those movies have a special place in my heart for sure. We didn't want it to end. We didn't want Larry to go away. We said, well, what are we going to do? He came up with a list of 20 movies that he wanted to talk about. And the idea behind these movies is, yes, there's 20 and we're on episode 8, but every time one of them comes off and we talk about it, he adds another one. And this is how we determine which one we're doing, if you've never heard these before. Got the 20 episode list. We roll 4 die, 20-sided die. We get 4 of the movies. We put those up on ConnecticutCultClassics.com under Scary Larry's voting page. We put it out on Twitter. We let it ferment out there like a nice pickle or a fine wine. You people vote, and then you pick the episode that we're going to talk about. So on this particular one, so far we have done Day of the Dead, 1985. We did Maniac. We did Prom Night. We did Motel Hell. We did Dead Alive, a.k.a. Brain Dead, Wicker Man, the 73 version, not the Bees. And we did Funhouse, right? Was it Funhouse or The Funhouse?
I think it's the Funhouse.
The Funhouse. That was episode 7. This is episode 8. What were the 4 movies that we had people voting on, and what were the finals, Larry?
So the 4 movies, and I'll go from least votes to most votes. Burnt Offerings with 22 votes. Not a lot of love for Burnt Offerings.
Nope. Lloyd's looking forward to that one. Right?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
No. I'm
Oh,
looking
The
forward to-
Changeling.
He's the changeling.
Yeah,
but
eventually.
Burnt Offerings is a great movie too.
And The Brood.
The Brood was the next one up. David Cronenberg, and that one got 31 votes. The next one up was the one I thought was going to win, but I am never correct. I don't think I've been right once yet. Street Trash, which is just a great movie. That one got 41 votes. There was a little late surge, got it some extra votes. But the winner was 2007's Wreck with 46 votes.
Rec wins, and that's what we're going to talk about. So let's talk about Rec a little bit. We always ask Larry because he came up with the list. Now, this is also, we mentioned all the movies we've done. You could tell right off the bat the huge difference between this and everything else. It was made in modern times.
Right.
It's a 2007 movie. This obviously wasn't one that like you went to the drive-in with your parents. This is something you discovered in adulthood. What is your story with Rec?
This one, if I remember correctly, I discovered in the pages of either Fangoria or Horror Hound. One of the horror magazines just came across an ad for it and found it somewhere. Don't even remember where. Maybe the old Netflix where they'd send you the disc to the house. That could have been kind of where I found it. And really enjoyed it for a genre that I generally hate. You know, that whole shaky cam, first person
Found footage kind of
footage. I loathe the vast majority of those movies, but there are a few, and Rec is one of them that I really enjoy.
We've talked about this. You're a Blair Witch hater, right?
One of my least favorite movies of all time. Piece of shit.
And that's
I didn't see Blair Witch Project until many years after it came out, so I wasn't there for the hype or anything.
That was
when I did finally watch it, I was like, oh.
I will admit that it may be better than I say it is, but I was there for the hype.
Okay.
And I bought into the hype. There was a documentary they had leading up to it. The documentary was brilliant, you know, like a fake documentary interviewing townspeople about this Blair Witch that was on regular TV leading up to the release. I left work early to get tickets for opening night. Like I was fucking bought in, completely bought in. And then just, I was almost violent. Like when I left, like I was almost to the point of violence. I was just like, this is the fucking biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. And I've never forgiven it. And I've never given it another shot. I've never even tried to watch it again.
I bring it up because if you talk about the found footage, shaky cam,
oh yeah,
it's literally the beginning of that. It's probably not the first movie that ever did that, but it was the 1999 to now. That was what started anybody saying that's a good idea. You know.
Yeah.
So,
it definitely spawned tons and tons of copycats, and you know, yeah.
Well, thankfully, I haven't seen many of those.
Yeah,
I don't think
there's
seen
tons.
anything.
There's tons of them. The first, I think,
Paranormal Activity.
the first one was probably that's a shaky cam first person.
Yeah.
And another huge hit.
yeah.
But I think the first one was probably Cannibal Holocaust. That was probably the first found footage. I think that was like 1980, so that's probably the first one.
I avoid that. Is that the one where they like kill animals in it?
Yeah, there's some real animal death going on in there. 1980 was a little different. You know, ASPCA wasn't banging on the.
No, I get it. Just personal. I can't.
I don't blame you.
I can't deal with that.
It's a movie. I think I maybe have only seen it twice. It's one of those like you watch and then you're like, I'm good. I don't need to.
I'm good.
Yeah, I've seen it. A Serbian film. I saw it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
I'm like, I don't need to ever see this again. You know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with Cannibal Holocaust. I saw it once to, you know, just because you kind of had to as a horror fan. And then another time an ex-girlfriend made me watch it. But she was crazy. She had like a big Baphomet back tattoo and like big Satan worshiper. I was like, no, I've seen that before. And she's like, we're watching it again. Okay.
Whatever you say, Lucifer.
Yeah. She was 666 on the back of her neck. She was a
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was a real piece, that one.
Did you meet her at a Pier 1 Imports?
I met her in college.
Yeah.
Go figure.
All right, Lloyd, what kind of information do you have about Rec via Spanish? I know we can't get too far into box office and stuff, but what do we got?
We didn't do any box office at all. I just got director, producers, and the cast over here.
All right. I do know this was a $2 million budget. I don't know if that's 2 million American or 2 million, not lira, whatever the Spanish use. I'm not sure. So who directed these things? This one, because there's multiples.
I guess I got two directors, Wame Balaguero and Paco Plaza.
Paco Plaza.
I think I ate there once.
Yeah, it's very good. Their number 4 is excellent.
Yeah.
With
Big fan of their
avocado.
number 4, yeah.
Very good.
Extra spicy. You got to get that.
Jaime Balaguero and Paco Plaza, they also both wrote the screenplay with a guy named Luis Bermejo. All right.
Yep.
Now, here's the interesting part about these guys is that there are 4 Rec movies, right? And a lot of times when, someone makes the first one, somebody comes along and, it's like it's somebody not involved, and then it gets further along as you get more sequels. These dudes were involved with all 4 of the movies. And I'm excited to watch Rec 2 because unless Larry knows and tells me differently, I was looking it up today and most of the reviews were like excellent for Rec 2. Yep. So that doesn't usually happen. Usually by the time you get to part 2, you're like, Balaguero directed Rec 2 by himself. Paco Plaza came in and directed Rec 3 Genesis by himself. And then they both directed Rec 2 together. Plaza did Rec 3 Genesis, and then Balaguero came back for the final film, Rec 4 Apocalypse. Yeah. Or as you would say in Spanish, Apocalipto. Right?
You saw that movie then?
Yeah.
You've seen all these, Larry?
I have not seen 4.
Not 4? Right.
No, I saw 1 through 3 and even interviewed the main actress in part 3, Leticia Delero or something like that. It was not a good interview. One of my worst interviews.
Yeah.
It was, very one-word answers. I don't think she really understood very well. And it didn't really work out well. And that movie doesn't really work out well either. Part 3 is completely different. Part 1, 2, and 4 are the same place, same characters. Part 3 is happening at the same time, but it's a completely different story, completely different people.
I was gonna say, is it like Halloween 3? It's a different story altogether.
No, same story, but happening to different people.
It's a cartoon about panda bears. Makes no Rec 3 Genesis, and you go to see it. And it's like, hi there, I'm Jimmy Panda. It's like, what the fuck? This is Canadian. They bait and switched me.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to see how they use those characters in the sequels.
It's interesting. Part 2 is really good. It's a direct sequel. Picks up like right from where part 1 cut. It picks up.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. So, Stu, I'll give you the honors this time. If you want to give it a bumper sticker, what is Rec? By the way, Rec is not WRECK. It's REC, short for record, because again, this is found footage. Everything is shot through the lens of a cameraman's camera.
So Rec is the story of it seems like she does special features on the news. She does a show called While You Are Sleeping. It's a reporter named Angela and her cameraman Pablo. They go out to follow around a fireman's crew to, just show like, oh, here, city of wherever this takes place. These are what your fireman heroes do at night. What's that? Barcelona?
Yep.
Okay. I missed that if they said it in the movie. To show people like, oh, here's what the firemen do while you're asleep, saving your life. And 8 minutes into this 180-minute movie, because this movie has no time to waste, they get a call to go to this house where an old lady woke up screaming. And no sooner do they get there than they get trapped inside the building by the police and I guess whatever Barcelona has that represents a CDC. And there is an outbreak of, I don't know, can I spoil it?
Sure.
Yeah, with rabies?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Devil herpes? I don't know what it is exactly, but it turns them all into zombies. It's 28 days later, running rage zombies.
Very aggressive. Lloyd, who do we have? I know nobody's going to know these names unless we have some listeners in Spain. We got some listeners in some weird countries. Not that the countries are weird.
They might be out
good
there.
job. Now you don't, John. Yeah.
Not
Now
that
you
your
don't.
country is weird. Just weird. We got someone that downloads every episode in
It's
Japan.
weird for us to think that someone out there in another country is even listening.
Thank you for being the person who speaks correctly. So who do we have?
Manuela Velasco as Angela, or how'd you say it, Stu?
Angela.
Angela Vidal, I think it is.
All right, that's her. Who's the reporter?
She's fine.
She's fine, really cute. She was born, I don't know, somewhere around the time that Ganache was born, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 10.
yeah.
You were born October, right?
October 29th, 1975.
She was born 10/23, 1975.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty
Whoa.
close. You
All
got a
right.
week
6 days
apart.
on you.
That's right. 6 days my elder. She was looking good, too.
Oh, yeah.
She played, as my wife described her, my wife, of course, not watching with me, just, occasionally asking a question while reading her phone. She, at one point, went, "She's really shrill." And I went, "You'd be really shrill in that fucking situation, too?" As would I,
I
would
think most
anybody.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she is a Spanish TV presenter and actress, obviously. I guess she does a lot of, award shows, whatever
Yeah, that's
presenters
what I saw.
do.
She does like whatever Spain has that's the equivalent to the Oscars. It looks like she's hosted one.
You could tell that she's good at it. You
Right.
can tell
Mhm.
she's got that, that kind of presenting type of personality.
Yeah.
Plus super cute.
Yeah. Very cute.
Super cute.
Yeah.
No, I've only got one more actor that I'll have comments, but that'll be the last one.
Okay.
Okay.
So the next one is Pablo Rosso as Pablo, the cameraman.
Yes.
Who you
who
never
you don't
see.
ever see in the film,
That's
but you
okay.
hear him now and then. Ferran Terraza as Manu, the firefighter. He was the one that was bitten.
I love
towards
Manu. I love Manu, man. I was so pissed when he got bit.
Yeah, that was a bummer, huh?
Yeah.
The scene. So, of course, we'll do this as we always do. We'll jump ahead a little bit. The scene where you realize he is bit was so fucking cool because
that's like one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
awesome. So
Yeah.
we're at the end. Shit's going crazy. There's only 3 of them left being attacked. It's her, Pablo, and Manu. And Manu stops on the stairs and gets attacked by one of the zombies. They continue to run up to this penthouse they're trying to get to. And they're at the door. And at one point, they kind of look down the stairs to see like if they're still being chased or, where's Manu? And he just fucking like appears as a zombie underneath them. And it was such a this movie's full of great little moments and great shots. I love that.
Was this your first time
right.
seeing it, John?
Yes. I saw Quarantine years ago,
Yeah.
which is the American remake, which was like, must have been fast tracked because.
I think it came out in America before Rec came out in America.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it did.
And I own Quarantine, haven't seen it in a while, but it does seem to, I think Stu had kind of made mention to me through text yesterday that these are remakes that are not very far apart. Like,
It's almost like moment for moment.
is
I
like-
was surprised.
Yeah, this is like whatchamacallit, let the right one in, let me in.
Yeah.
Like this is a shot for shot. We're just remaking this because we think you're too dumb to read subtitles.
yeah. Okay.
Basically.
Now,
And,
I have to say,
and we want to jam Jennifer Carpenter in there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
She could use a sandwich or two, but
Yes. Yeah.
but
He's
other-
dangerously thin.
yeah, and even or not to a tangent, but we always do. Like, dude, that Brawl in Cell Block 99, she looked sick.
Yeah.
Sick. But hey, whatever. That's her body, her life.
Your
Enjoy
choice.
yourself. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. So the Quarantine remake was, when people ask me, I just say, yeah, it's good. Of course, it's good. It's the same fucking
the
movie.
same movie.
Yeah.
See, I mentioned that when we
the
did.
effects, everything is like the same. Like top of my head, I can't really think of many differences between Quarantine and Rec.
No, because I'd seen Quarantine years ago. And
Yeah.
then I started watching Rec, and boy, like within 20 minutes in, by the time I think they got to the shutter door, I was just like, all right, I remember all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
You-
To me though, and maybe this is just me, and maybe it'll sound crazy. The fact that it's in Spanish makes it scarier. because first of all, when it's Spanish people talking, they talk faster and it's
Mhm.
more frantic, and it just seems a lot more frantic than Quarantine does.
Yeah,
And I
get
think
that.
it's mainly because it's in Spanish, and I'm trying to keep up, read along. You know, I know the words. I know how many times can they say rápido and tranquilo. Yes, I know faster and calm down. They must have said those 700 times.
Lo siento.
Mierda a lot.
Mierda
Yeah.
a lot of mierda.
Lo siento. Lo siento.
Rápido, avanza, muévete. Yeah, you know. But and yo no sé. They said that a lot. I don't know. We know you don't know.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
mentioned in our our top 5 horror remake episode, we mentioned this movie, and I had said that not this movie, but Quarantine.
Yep.
And I had said that I really wasn't a fan of Quarantine because I kind of got bored of it towards the end. I'm a much bigger fan of this movie
Okay.
than of Quarantine.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, for a couple reasons. First, like you said, I actually got more out of it reading the subtitles and hearing the Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely. And another thing to me, I mean, I haven't seen Quarantine in a while, but Quarantine seemed darker to me.
You mean
actually physically
camera?
darker.
Okay. Yep.
I really appreciate the lighter scenes. Like inside the building was light. I could actually see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I really don't like about modern day movies is some of them are so dark, and I just can't really see what's happening, and it bugs me. And this one didn't really go there, obviously, until the end. But
Right.
But I really appreciated this movie much more than Quarantine.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
All right. Who else do we have for cast? Then we'll get a little bit more into the.
Our next firefighter was David Vert as Alex, the firefighter. Now he's the guy that falls down the stairwell, right down the middle.
Splat.
Yeah. Funny thing about that, the actors didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh,
So
nice.
They just pushed him right over. Huh?
That reaction was completely real from all of the actors.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Apparently Paco Plazo and I only know Plazo because he also did Veronica, which was one of my favorite movies from a couple of years ago. I don't know the other director's name by heart, but I guess they did a lot of stuff like that. They didn't give full script to anybody, and so nobody knew what was coming next. And they did film chronologically, so it was just kind of like, what are we doing today? And it was just like, here's your pages for today, go. And
That's
like
cool.
I said, a lot of stuff like, when I think of stuff like that, like I always think of Beetlejuice, the hands coming out of the shrimp wasn't planned. Nobody, the actors didn't know that was going to happen. I always love stuff like that because you get a real reaction from your actors.
We talked about it on the Wicker Man episode, how Edward Woodward had not
Didn't want to see the Wicker, yeah.
Right, the Wicker
until
Man,
the
so-
scene that he sees it. He knows what the Wicker Man is. He's read the script, but his reaction, the Goonies, very famously, they did not see the pirate ship until they went through the slide, got out of the water, and they filmed their first reaction to the pirate ship.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've done that. Alien is another well-known case that they didn't know exactly what was happening to John Hurt the day of the chest burster.
Right.
So,
Damn.
yeah,
Wow.
they knew something was happening. They knew he was going to die. They didn't know that it was going to be a fucking bloodbath in the cafeteria,
Oh, my God.
All right, Manster.
All right, this next one, Claudia Silva as Jennifer, the little girl with tonsillitis.
Yeah.
I did a little research.
Tonsillitis.
Yeah, I looked up her. I mean, she seems much older now, and she doesn't seem like a little girl.
Well, yeah, it's
Very
12,
pretty woman.
so it's 12 years later.
Funny what 13 years does.
It's amazing.
On this episode, Lloyd discovers time.
What I mean is, it said she was 47 years old.
Oh,
No, she's not
Yeah, which
47.
did not.
Yeah,
make
that doesn't
sense to
seem
me
accurate.
at all.
no.
No,
Unless
'cause if I can add 13 to 7, I'm going to figure that's about 20.
yeah. Unless
I'm no
unless,
mathematical genius.
unless they're talking about Spain years. Spain years are like dog years.
Yeah, it's different over
Well,
there.
that's one of those weird countries, right?
Yeah.
Like you said earlier.
So yeah, go look her up. Go look up what Claudia Silva.
we're
It
we're
says
learning
she was-
about
Are you sure Claudia wasn't the mom? Wasn't
No, that was
Jennifer's
Jennifer.
mom?
Yeah, no, that was Jennifer.
so far on this episode. We're learning about the Canadian effect on them, like tricking us into believing things.
Spanish dog years.
And Spanish dog years. I'm taking notes because
Yeah.
I've got some learning to do, Lucy.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what else we have?
All right, two more. Martha Carbonell as Mrs. Izquierdo. She was the old lady that
Izquierdo.
basically started it
Izquierdo.
all.
It's like,
Yeah.
isn't that left in
Izquierdo.
Spanish?
Left
yeah,
or
I
right?
think it is.
Yeah, derecho is right,
Right,
is left.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, all you Spanish speakers of butchering that. And finally, Javier Botet as Tristana Medeiros.
Oh, yeah.
Monster. Now, do you know anything about this guy?
I didn't know it was a guy. So
It's a guy. Yeah, it was a man playing that role, and he's diagnosed with Marfan syndrome. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
Connective tissue disorder.
Yes, I do know what that is. Yeah.
Elongates your limbs, your fingers, your toes. It protrudes your sternum. In some cases, it like sinks your sternum in. And they have serious medical issues that they have to be concerned about throughout their whole life. But it does give that really freaking creepy look.
It
Long
worked.
finger. He played Slender Man. He was the actor that played Slender Man.
That makes sense.
He played. He played Set in The Mummy, the new Mummy, the one with Tom Cruise.
Okay. I saw that once.
He was in both of the recent chapters of It. Also, The Conjuring 2.
I'll bet you in it, he was the homeless junkie guy, right?
He was somebody called Hobo.
Yep,
Yeah.
he was the hobo, the one that kept trying to shove like the dirty pills into Eddie's mouth and stuff. Yep, absolutely.
So that's who that actor is.
So I watched this last night after getting out of work. I had a fucking hard time watching this movie. Crackle. If you're listening to this right now, it may still be on Sony Crackle for free. Sony Crackle was not working well for me last night, so I had to watch it on Plex because Lloyd mentioned to me it was on.
It was also on Plex. Yeah.
So I watched it last night, and it was over by like 10:30. Stayed up till about 11. Went to bed, and I was in my back room there, getting ready to sleep. And at different points in the dark room, I was seeing that dude. I'm not even gonna lie. This movie creeped me out a little bit. And like I said, I've seen Quarantine, which is essentially, I do agree with Lloyd. I think Wreck is better, but they're the same movie. All the same stuff happens. That's ending scene, which is very creepy, is very similar in Quarantine. And I hadn't seen it in years, and I had forgotten how creepy as fuck that whole bit is.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. I wanted to go around. I'll go around, and each one of us, let's talk a little bit about some of the people that live in this apartment building that we kind of like meet throughout this thing. Because I found some of these characters were the best parts of the movie, right?
Yeah.
So I'll start with Lloyd.
I was going to say I want to talk about one first because I wanted to talk about the incredibly prescient Caesar.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just took my guy, Stu.
Well,
I
he's
think
the most
he's-
noteworthy guy.
He's
Yeah.
probably all of our guys.
But in 2007, you have this story about people being quarantined and a virus getting people, and you have the weird old man with weird hair who immediately jumps to, it's the Chinese people.
It's
Yeah.
the Chinese. Yeah.
And I was like,
What are they,
movie, you are,
Japanese, maybe?
movie, you are 13 years ahead of your time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stinks. It smells like raw fish.
Yeah.
You know
I just referred to that guy as the Spanish Tim Curry with the John Waters mustache.
Larry. My note for him
Yeah.
was current Tim Curry
Yeah.
playing Salvador Dali.
Yeah. Salvador Dali, John Waters.
I could not stop thinking about Tim Curry.
Same thing. Yeah.
If you've seen Tim Curry currently, he's heavier. I mean, he's very sick now, but like if you saw him in the last 10 years, he doesn't look like he used to.
No.
And this guy looks like Tim Curry.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, Stu, because I was literally waiting for him to say the following terms when he was getting mad about the whole thing. Chinese virus.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the term Kung Flu to come out of his mouth.
That's all this movie needed was for him to be that on the nose. But
Yeah.
wow, all right, movie. You knew what was coming.
They eat raw fish.
Yeah.
They don't even shut their door.
The shutting the door thing. So I did do a little bit of research on this movie. I don't remember if it was Balaguero or Plaza, but one of the two directors in their after college years lived in an apartment building, and there was a Chinese family that lived there that never shut their door. And he said that it always worked on him. Like, why don't they ever shut the fucking door? Like, what are they doing in there? You could look in there and find out. But he put it in the movie because it was something that had happened in his real life.
That's funny.
That's an odd thing to be upset about because it's literally the least suspicious thing a person could do.
Oh, it's almost way suspicious. It's almost like saying, fuck you. I'm going to make you not want to look in here, and I'm going to do all this illegal shit.
I dare you to not look in here.
Exactly. I dare you not to watch me make meth in my bathtub. You know? All right, Manster. Stu stole that from you, Stu. Stu was in the penalty box for a minute. Manster, give us a character and what you thought of them.
I'll go with the old lady, Mrs. Izquierdo.
Conchita. Yeah. Just call her Conchita.
Conchita? Is that her
Conchita?
name?
Yes, that was her name.
Yeah, that was her name.
Yeah, she was cool.
It's easier to say.
When you first see her, she's just sort of standing there at the end of the hallway, just looking sort of innocent, right? And they go in after her, and all of a sudden she just freaking attacks that cop, jumps on him. My wife was actually watching this with me when she wasn't looking at her phone.
Yeah.
And she's like, whoa, did she just attack that dude? Bit his neck off, man. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even when they shot her.
No.
They come back up later. They take that guy out of there.
Yeah, they just left her there, by the way.
Yeah, they just leave
she just
her there.
ate this guy's neck, and they're like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Not just that.
Don't worry about her.
But they said, she attacks this guy. She's obviously not right. Okay, she doesn't have like demon herpes, if that's what they think, but there's something wrong with her. And then they're like, what were the two, Manu and who was the other guy?
Alex.
They're like, Alex, stay with them. He's like, no problemo. It's like, no bueno, Alex. Get the fuck out of there. She ate that dude's face. She ate John Polito's face.
Yeah, the small round cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they make their way back up there later. And I guess maybe that's the scene where she's standing at the end of the hallway and she just bum rushes them. They shoot her, 3 times?
Yeah.
Shot her 3 times.
Yeah.
She definitely goes down.
Officer Sacha Baron Cohen shot.
Larry, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
That is my note for him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I kept calling him Officer Borat. I was like, look at Officer Borat.
Me and Larry are meshing tonight. I'm like, is this Sacha Baron Cohen like a year before Borat?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
I had a note that somebody in this movie I thought was a more famous person, but it wasn't him. It was Gillum. Gillum, I thought for sure was Hank Azaria the entire time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hank Azaria, how often do you see him in movies? I was like, maybe Hank Azaria's in this movie.
Just worked his way over to Spain to be in some super low budget found footage movie.
And then in quarantine, they hire a Spanish actor to play his role.
Yeah. Fantastic.
They put, 3 slugs in her?
3 slugs in her.
And then she gets up again.
They leave her down there. They think she's dead. The third time they come upstairs, she comes at him from the other side. And who was it? Was it Alex or
Manu?
Was it the cop or was it the firefighter?
I think it was Manu.
Yeah, it was Manu. He grabs, I don't know, some kind of blunt object and he just smashes her in the face a bunch of times.
That was the big mallet they were using to break the locks to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was definitely heavy.
Was it him or the cop, the Baron Cohen, that punched her right in the face? Or
one of them gave her a fucking good fucking...
That fucking punch, again, Lindsay not paying attention, she catches that one moment, she goes, that was a good punch. I went, yeah, he fucking socked her.
Yeah, she was one tough broad.
Yeah.
So John, we're totally obviously on sync with the Tim Curry and the Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yep.
What about Manu? Because I had something for Manu as well.
I didn't have anything for Manu.
Manu is clearly a Spanish Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel. I don't know if I think he was a little bulkier. I think I'm kind of honestly in the thought space that I might have a man crush on Manu because he was just like he was holding it down.
He was a good hero. He was a good he was a good hero. And I liked how they were smart about it. He wasn't just like Mr. Hero Man. There were times when he flipped the fuck out and was screaming but he always reeled it back in and was like, all right, everybody fucking tranquilo. All right, everybody tranquilo. And everybody listened to him. They were like, all right, man, I'll be tranquilo. So we're good.
All right. I'm going to bring up a couple characters and ask you guys a question. Am I being uncharacteristically racist, or is this something that you all kind of like struggle with a little bit? All right,
That's something I struggled with, so I'm interested to see if you say it.
the Chinese people speaking Spanish.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let me say this right off the bat, right? I'm a grown man. I love all people, but there's still that part of me in my brain that can't equate people from another land, not just living in their land or the U.S., that they also live in other places. Like
Yes.
there are Chinese people that live in Ireland. There are Japanese people that live in Africa. And for some reason, my brain accepts it. But when we get to the scene of the Chinese family that we talked about with the door open, father, son, mother, it was 3 of them, right?
Yeah, for real.
And they're interviewing the mother. I thought, is she going to be speaking in Spanish? And she was, which is totally natural because if she was here, she'd probably be speaking English. But I'm going to tell you right now, my brain couldn't fucking wrap around it.
Yeah.
Couldn't wrap around it.
That's not a racist thing. It's just because you don't see it.
Yeah.
It's not something
right.
you see often. You know, what was it? I had the first time I met a black guy with an English accent, with a British accent, and I was like, I know this isn't weird because I know plenty of black people live in England.
Yep.
For me, I don't see that every day. So it's just my head needs a second to really accept that this is happening.
When I was a little kid, when I was probably like 9 or 10, my mom worked nights at the Stop and Shop deli. And I used to go down with my dad to pick her up or, whatever, you go shopping, she'd be there. And one of the guys that worked with her was a black guy who was from England.
Yep.
And as a kid, that blew my fucking mind.
Right.
Because he talked to me very friendly, but, he'd have the English accent. And in my very young mind, I'd think to myself, are there black people in England? And now, 35 years later, I'm like, are there Chinese people in Spain? And there are. And there are.
Of course there are. And of course it's completely logical that she would be speaking Spanish, but still, like, you're waiting for her to talk and you're like, she's going to speak Spanish. And she did. And I'm like, holy shit. And it shouldn't be weird.
I want to take a poll of the room. Lloyd,
We're so self-centered and we're Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We
I
just
get
don't
that. I get
100%.
that. Lloyd, did you have the same apprehension in that scene? Were you like, oh, she's going to speak Spanish?
Yeah, I was the same way.
Stu?
I didn't have that, but I guess I didn't think much of it at all. But when she started speaking, the subtitles were in broken English, and it took my brain a second to flip over because at first I saw the subtitles in broken English, and I was like, movie, that's racist. It's like, oh no, she's an Asian person who's in Spain for whom Spain is her second language.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
speaking Spanish, and the subtitles are giving me the broken Spanish, but in English. Like, my brain just had to go through like 3 layers of covers to figure out why these subtitles were in broken English. Because my very first reaction was honestly like, movie, that's racist. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
We get an explanation. So they've gone into this house. The woman was screaming. Shit's going down. People are getting bitten. People are turning to zombies. And by zombies, we mean fast-moving, barky, bloody, a lot of blood.
Is it zombies,
Lots of
though?
rage.
Yeah, that's what I was starting to say whenever we
Listen,
get to the old lady.
28 days later are not zombies.
Right. So this is
They're
28
infected.
days later.
They don't die in 28 days later. To me, you're only a zombie if you die and then you're reanimated.
But Miss Conchita gets shot,
Well,
and
she
I was
does
like, and then she's
apparently
gone later,
die.
so she's still around. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, are they reanimated dead?
Yeah,
at that
see,
point?
they didn't really let you know if he's
Okay.
reanimated. So I'm not sure if they are zombies, but
Yeah.
I still, every time I watch one of these movies, still flabbergasted that nobody else in the film has ever seen a zombie movie and
Yeah.
can just figure out like that what's going on. Hey, these are fucking zombies. Hit them in the head. Like nobody ever. No,
Yeah.
never seen Night of the
Zombies
Living Dead,
don't-
guys.
They're not real in zombie movies, I guess.
I guess not. No.
And a
Really? In
zombie
all
movies
zombie
take
movies.
place in a universe where zombie movies don't exist.
Yeah.
I hate that
either
fucking
have-
universe.
You
Worst
either
fucking
have
universe.
you either have the trope of these characters have no idea what zombies are, or you have the trope where they figure out what zombies are, and all of a sudden everyone is a marksman who can make headshots.
Yeah.
And this being a movie where nobody except for Baron Cohen had a gun,
Right.
we had to see some different things being done. There was a great scene. Was it Manu who broke that one dude's neck? The Chinese
Yeah.
the Chinese
Yeah.
dad's neck.
Yeah.
breaks it right in fucking half.
Sergio Baron Cohen.
Sergio Baron Cohen. What's nice? What's nice in Spanish? Damn it.
I know bueno. I don't know.
It's a bueno. So this is another scene that I thought was fantastic. The building gets wrapped up in basically plastic, and they're being communicated.
Looks like they're going to paint. They're going to paint.
Yeah.
They're being communicated with from the outside. And what is the outside telling them, Lloyd?
Yeah, that they're being quarantined. No one can come outside. One guy can go in, but they're not getting out. They're trapped. They try to find different ways to get onto a patio and all this stuff. And everywhere they go, right. They go out the back, and all those plastic sheets fall down in front of them.
Yeah, we were talking before about the Manu scene and certain scenes in this movie that I really liked. One of the scenes I loved was just such a weird, it wasn't a horror moment, but was the scene where the doctor or the BNC, what was it, biological, nuclear, or chemical hazmat guy is preparing to come in. Like they open up the veil a little bit, and then you just see these two kind of silhouetted figures, and one of them is kind of checking his suit and smoothing it out and checking for holes. And it's from the viewpoint of the camera, obviously, and our characters were following. But it was just very cool because it's like you could have told me it was going to be aliens. You didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I thought the same thing. I was like, suddenly this is an alien movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So
I also liked you brought up that guy from the I'm just gonna call him the CDC. Listen, I don't know what they have over there.
Yeah.
But I liked when he got bit because they were smart enough that I don't think they showed it. You know, not all horror directors realize you don't have to show everything. You know, all of a sudden this guy is just sitting down and he's like, "Get away from me! I've been bitten. Get away!"
Right.
And he fucking locks himself in the room and throws the key.
Right.
And it's just like, great. That's just a great bit of filmmaking right there. I love that shit.
I like that a lot too.
It does a good job because this guy comes in and you as an audience are inherently against this guy because he represents the outside. He represents these forces outside the building that are quarantining them, that are keeping them in there with the danger. And he comes in as a member of them. He's all suited up so that he's separated from them. And then he does slowly make a shift where he feels like he belongs and you accept him as a protagonist. Like he takes his mask off, but he keeps everything else on. So it's like this slow progression of like, okay. And then, he gets bitten and all of a sudden, without even realizing it, you feel bad for this character who you initially saw as an antagonist.
Were you surprised, Manster, when he took his mask off? I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I really didn't.
Yeah, I was for a second, but then I realized he knows what this is, and he knows it's not an airborne thing. You have to be bitten. So what the fuck's a mask going to do?
Well, let's have Manster one more time. Explain to everybody out there what... So we get to a point with the little girl, Jennifer, 47-year-old Jennifer.
47-year-old Jennifer.
We get to a point with her and her mother where her mother keeps on saying she's been sick, she has tonsillitis. But then we get into kind of a crossover moment where we learn something about Jennifer, and we also learn from the CDC doctor what they know. What were the two things that linked this building with everything else?
Well, the girl Jennifer had a dog, Max, who was sick. And so the dog went to the vet, and that's the tie-in, is that there was a outbreak that dog in the vet got very aggressive and I guess attacked all the other animals there. And so they, how did they tie it into what was going on in the building?
It was chipped. The dog was
that's
chipped.
right. It was chipped. Yeah. Yep. So they came back to the building, and that's when they realized that they had to quarantine the building. When the guy came in, when the inspector did come in, and they were talking to him, and he mentioned the dog, and I think it was the reporter said, "Was his name Max?" And she goes, and the guy said, "Yeah, it was Max." So that tied everything together. That's when the audience knows, the whole thing.
We get to a point in this movie where we still don't know, but we're assuming as an audience that this is some kind of like mega rabies or something.
Right. He never says rabies, but he just says, I don't know. Did he say like rabies or something? Maybe?
I don't think. I
don't
just
think
said
he
that
ever said the word rabies, though.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying as an audience, you start thinking, as soon as you think dog,
rabies.
and as soon as you think about like people foaming at the mouth and acting crazy, you think rabies. So this is the point where you're starting to go, oh, this is like some kind of mega strain of rabies. It's not rabies.
Right.
And like that is one of the things about this movie that I'm on the fence about as to whether I liked it or didn't like it, is the actual explanation as to what's been going on the whole time. So
yeah, it's like a red herring.
So we're pointed one way. The dog was sick, then these people got sick, the little girl gets sick. We're thinking rabies. We get to the point, and we'll still talk about more, but we get to the point where our only two people left are our hero and heroine, Angela and Pablo. And the first thing that tested my patience a little bit was that on a key ring of 500 ring, she gets the key right on what looked to be the first try.
You know what? I'm okay with that because 99 times out of 100, they're fumbling through the key ring till they finally get it, after 5 minutes. So I'll give them that one time.
Okay. All right. That's fair. They get into the penthouse, and they said earlier in the movie, I believe that this house or this,
it's empty.
It's empty, right? It's been empty.
Guy who owns it never comes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's out of the country.
Right.
So they get into the penthouse, and it's a crazy person's house.
It's a full-on serial killer fucking lair.
Plastered with notes and articles and drawings, all kinds
lots
of shit.
Crosses.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. So,
Biblical pictures.
What was the theme of most of the stuff plastered on the walls?
Well, there was a demon-possessed girl from Portugal, or at least a supposedly demon-possessed girl from Portugal. And there was an agent of the Vatican who was trying to isolate some enzyme to cure her. And so I guess they brought her to this tenement building for some reason.
And that's where you do your best scientific work.
Right.
Some fucking penthouse in Barcelona.
By the way, except for the murder and the giant, demon possession rabies outbreak, I don't know what the price is, but those apartments were pretty fucking nice, large.
Mm-hmm.
The hallways,
there was all that room for Conchita to hide in her apartment from them. She had rooms.
She had, how many rooms do they have? How many rooms did Guillermo have when they were trying to find the keys? They went into 19 different rooms. Fucking A, nice apartment. So Larry, so what ends up happening when they end up in this room after being creeped out a little bit by seeing all this weird shit?
Yeah, they're looking at all the stuff on the wall, tons of crucifixes, it's fucking Kevin Spacey's joint in that fucking movie with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. What the hell movie was that?
7.
Yeah, right. Fucking newspaper clippings, like a full-on serial killer fucking vibe. Then, like Lloyd said, they're reading some of the stuff and it's all about demon possession. And then she finds the Evil Dead cabin recorder.
I thought the same thing.
My thought was that there's no way so essentially when anybody in law enforcement finds a serial killer's abode, it's always going to look like that. Yeah. And there's always going to be a reel-to-reel recorder in there. It just has to happen.
Or one of those notebooks with the black and white cover, the fucking...
Yes.
Yeah. One or the other. Or both. Sometimes both.
Yeah, a map with different colored pins and then people's eyes cross out. Yeah.
See, the thing that got me wasn't so much the one key out of 50 on the first try. It was she kept fumbling with the recorder. I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to rewind. Then everywhere she would stop, it would be like, oh, good. Right on a plot point.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was a perfect job. They listened to the tape a bit and they realize what Lloyd said, that it's something to do with some kind of an enzyme or with the infected boy. Oh, that's right. Then there's the boy in the fucking ceiling, right?
Yeah.
That was the other thing.
That was a bit unexplained, but
and
some kid who
unexpected.
disappeared, apparently. Yeah.
And unexpected, because she's just wandering around, and all of a sudden, the fucking thing drops down and scares my dick off. Because
Yeah.
I apparently didn't remember that fucking happening. So I actually like fucking jumped back when that happened.
Yeah, that's where they lose the light from the camera, and they're
That's where they lose the
totally
light
in the
because
dark.
yeah, the kid from The Grudge fucking just smacks the smacks the camera, and then it's right after that, right after that they see fucking granny panties there.
You just made him so much less scary.
Yeah, whatever
Tristana
Tristana,
Medeiros.
yeah, and that is a fucking scary. That was a really scary looking creature.
So that creature
Yeah.
seemed older, right?
Blind and old
But the notes on the wall said there was a little girl. So how many years has gone by?
in Spain, as you said before, you age
We
like
completely
5
forgot
years
about that.
for every year.
Well,
So-
demon-
That would explain quite a bit.
Demon possession.
That lady monster up in the attic
I
was
think we've
actually
uncovered
Jennifer.
something
We just
here.
didn't see her age.
What was that, Sid?
I said that lady up in the attic that we're talking about, that was actually Jennifer. We just didn't see her age by the time she got up there.
He's stretched out a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. But Granny Panties beats the shit out of Pablo, right? Like
With a hammer.
Yeah, with a hammer.
Yep.
And it's even though I said before, I really don't like shaky cam shit. That was well done because the way that they did the camera, you saw enough of fucking, slender Granny fucking beating at him with the fucking hammer. And then Angela's kind of all alone. It's, just her and whatever happened to the boy. I don't know what happened to the Grudge
Yeah,
kid.
he just
never
sitting up there in the attic.
And I don't know if we mentioned this for anybody that hasn't seen it. I know you said the light broke, but from this point on, we're in
complete darkness
with not infrared.
Yeah, the green,
night vision.
Yeah, we're talking
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill, reaching out to touch her shoulder. So
Yeah.
we see all this stuff from that, and we get the view from Angela, who now is the sole survivor. She ends up getting, I think, like she gets tackled or hit by something, gets knocked to the ground, and then we get the very I think it's famous last scene of the movie, which was also the same scene in Quarantine, which they showed in the trailers for Quarantine all the time, which was like, you're blowing it, but
why would you? Well, that's America for you.
yeah.
I've got to show you the entire movie in 1.5 minutes.
So it's
Great.
essentially Angela is on the ground and she's crawling towards the camera facing her, and she's beat to shit. And just as she seems like, she's going to give up, she gets dragged the fuck away into another room, and the movie fucking ends, and it has the Rec logo pops up. I got to say, the last 25 minutes of this movie, this is a short fucking movie, right?
I was going to say the last 25 minutes is like half the movie.
Yes. So the first 15 minutes is a setup. It's probably 10 minutes in the firehouse, and you get a little bit of that. She's meeting all the firefighters. Then you get the situation, and we get shots here and there of like shock stuff, like little bits. The grandma Conchita, they have to shoot her, and little bits here and there. From the second the little girl bites the mother on the face, it's like everything goes to shit in this movie.
She vomited on her.
Did she vomit on her?
I thought she bit her.
I thought she bit her as well, but I did some reading on it, and she vomited on her mother's face.
Oh, okay. Well, it was transferable either way.
Yeah.
So
Either way works.
I didn't know that.
From that moment, particularly when they start racing up the stairs to get to the penthouse, and you start realizing that these characters that you haven't seen in a little bit are now all infected, and they're coming out of the left and right and attacking everybody little by little. Man, this thing is tense. I was tight butthole on this thing at the end, and even I've seen the other one. I knew how this was going to end. I knew it wasn't going to be different. And I was still kind of like, get the fuck out of here somehow.
Yeah, it's a very frantic movie. Even the scenes, scenes that aren't frantic, still have tension, and you're just waiting for it to fucking, because it's the calm only lasts so long, and it's going to get crazy again, and when it does, it's just off, man.
Yeah,
it's a really tense, scary. It is a scary movie.
Yes. Lloyd, what was your note you said?
Yeah, I wrote that. I have a bunch of likes, that I wrote down, and I wrote down frantic like 3 times.
Well, give us a few more. What else did you like about this thing?
Yeah, well, I like the frantic pace of it. It really gave you a sense of claustrophobia and panic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as soon as you're in that building and you realize you can't get out, the whole movie just takes that and, you know, makes you own that. I really liked all the performances.
Yeah, they were good.
I don't think anybody was lacking in this movie at all.
No, me neither.
Everyone felt good. Like I said before, I appreciated that it was light, you know, that I could actually see what was going on all the time until the very end. I really liked the monster creature. You know, they showed just enough of it to really give you the sense of it, not too much and not too little. Yeah, I think they really handled that. And I like that Angela, obviously she's a reporter, so she feels this way, but she was really a champion for the people that everybody needed to know what was going on.
Right.
They were trying to shut her down, but she wouldn't let it happen.
Now, did you get that she was doing that to be a champion of the people? Because I thought she was doing it to make a better show.
Yes.
I think a little of each.
That's kind of what I got.
Yeah, there was a sense that I had that she was in this building and she was just like seeing awards popping up with her name on them. And
yes.
She was just like,
well,
this
yeah,
is
but
my
she kept
moment.
saying they have to know what's happening. They have to know what's happening.
Yeah.
She said that a bunch of times.
I agree with point A and point B. I think that as this went along, you might be it's a lesser plot point, but you might be seeing her artistic or journalistic integrity going up, because when you're introduced to her, the first 10 minutes she's a douchebag.
Yeah.
We're going to cut this out. It's boring. If this is boring,
right.
just cut it. And then, you know, she's a dick about everything. And
Yeah, she's like, oh, switch sides with me. I want my hair to be on this.
yeah,
fucking...
yeah. They make it very clear in the first the first 10 minutes that she's kind of like a douchebag. And I think as you get into it and the situation becomes more and more,
she realized the situation.
Yeah, because I mean, who here? Raise your hand if you're like me. Does anybody here think that once in this very weird situation they drop the plastic around the building, and then someone says biological, nuclear, chemical? Does anybody here other than me think I'm never getting out of here?
No one's getting out.
Right. Yeah. I think these people kind of got it, but we're hopeful. Like the whole idea of Pablo and Angela getting out. Like, let's say they did get out at the end. They'd be on the run forever because whoever these people are going to fucking need to take them out, you know?
Yeah, they're going to want to test on them and fucking
Right.
absolutely. Yeah.
So there's no happy ending in this one, no matter what. And I don't know. I'll go around and I'll ask everybody. Larry's seen it. Manster, are you going to check Rec 2 out?
Yeah, I would like to. If it's free streaming somewhere, for sure.
All right. I am Stu.
I saw whenever I watched this on my Plex server that I have 2, 3, and 4. So if I get a chance, I've been real bad at watching movies. I've been wanting to, but if I get a chance, I definitely will.
All right, but it interests you. Okay, so that is Rec. That's episode 8 of Scary Larry's Pint of Horrors. And of course, at the end of every one of these episodes, Larry gives us a scale, and then we give it on our 0 to 5 scale of whatever Larry chooses, what we thought of it. Larry, what is the scale tonight?
What is the scale tonight? Tonight is pieces of raw fish.
Okay. All right.
I think that's a good. I think that's a good scale because Spanish Tim Curry was very concerned about raw fish.
Yeah, he's never heard of sushi.
No. I guess in 2008 or 7 Barcelona, it was not a big thing. I guess, which I kind of highly doubt because Barcelona is
it's very cultural,
cultural city.
Something
I'm
tells
pretty
me
sure there was some sushi fucking floating around in Barcelona.
I think sushi is everywhere. I don't think that it's like a strictly a popular in America thing other than, you know, in Japan. I'm pretty sure it's popular everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and that's coming from a guy that isn't able to picture Asian people speaking Spanish. So, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Stu. Stu from Ghost of the Stratosphere. Check out their website, gotstratosphere.com. New articles all the time. Larry, you should check it out. Stu does a series about Pop-Tarts called Pop-Tart Quest, where he eats different Pop-Tarts and rates them.
What's your favorite?
So far, and I only eat the ones that like not everyone has had. So like, there's no strawberry.
You're gonna not get strawberry. I get it.
Yeah, there's no s'mores or anything. But the best one I've done was either of the peanut butter ones. There's a chocolate peanut butter and then there's a regular peanut butter. Those were fantastic.
Okay, I have a favorite, but I think it's probably too common to even be on the
Frosted cherry.
No, the brown sugar cinnamon.
Brown
one.
sugar cinnamon.
Yeah,
that's a common one.
That's just what I mean. There's no sense in reviewing that. Everyone's had that.
And what was the worst too? What was the worst?
Oh, watermelon.
Ooh.
Yeah. That sounds offensive.
Awful.
So we did a thing at my last job, the job I'm currently at, but it feels like my last job because I haven't fucking been in there for 3 months, so it feels like I don't work there anymore. But there was a girl, Christina, who anytime Oreo put out their fucking new weird flavors, she would bring them in, and some of those are just brutal.
You know what?
There was a fruit punch one.
Ugh.
Fruit punch Oreos?
It was a chocolate cookie with fruit punch middle, and it tasted like, you remember when you were a kid and you would put like a scoop of Hawaiian, like this sugar, Kool-Aid Hawaiian punch sugar in your mouth? Like, that's basically what it tasted like in a chocolate cookie.
By far the best of, I haven't had a lot of the new Oreos, but the one I got a box of them, or, the tray. And I had to tell Lindsay, I'm like, no more. I can't get any more because I ate the shit out of it. Was the lemon cream.
They're the best ones.
They're so fucking good.
Okay.
Well, they were so good that they made
lemon.
them a normal. All the rest are just limited edition. The lemon was originally limited edition, but they made it a fucking.
I'm gonna mute you so I don't know that because I will go to the store right the fuck now.
I got to pack upstairs. I actually got to pack
God.
upstairs. I fucking love those things.
All right, Stu, raw fish scale 0 to 5.
I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. This was fine. I was a little put out at the end whenever it was like, oh, it's a demon. And I know in 2007 that was less played out, but I feel like now, between all the exorcism movies they've made and all the paranormal activities, I'm just demoned out in horror. So even though it's not the movie's fault for when it came out, to me it was just like, oh, it's demons again. Okay.
All right. I'll go next. I don't always go second. I'll go next. I give this a solid 4. I really enjoyed this. And one of the things, I don't remember if Lloyd mentioned this or not. He mentioned the frantic pace. Was I loved the runtime. Like,
oh yeah,
78
minutes.
Hour 25?
78
Not
minutes.
even.
Oh, it wasn't even that long. Wow.
Nope.
No.
This thing is like no fat. Literally, you could have cut out the bit where she's meeting the firefighters, but that was important because it gives you her character and you meet the firefighters. Other than that, everything is just a breakneck pace. It is. Shit goes fast.
What are you saying?
a breakneck pace.
Got it.
You got
All right,
it.
Larry. We'll finish with the Manster. Larry, what do you give Rec?
I'm going to give Rec a 4.25.
Oh wow,
I'm nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really enjoy it. For a movie that I've probably seen, I've had to have probably seen it about at least a dozen times. It still makes me jump, and it's not cheesy jump scares. It's legitimately a scary movie. And I didn't mind the demon thing. I liked it because it was different and it wasn't a zombie movie, because in 2007 zombie movies were kind of all over the place. So I liked that it broke from that and had a whole different vibe. I'm a 4.25. I'm a fan.
Let's finish off with half man, half monster. The Manster. I'm thinking we're getting a high grade. Manster.
Yeah, it's high. It's not as high as Larry's. I'm kind of waffling. I'm going to go with 3.75.
Okay.
Can't quite get it up to the 4, but
okay.
I really did enjoy it. Yeah.
That's a respectable
Yeah.
That's a respectable piece of fish.
Definitely 3.75.
3.75
Raw
pieces of raw
fish.
fish is acceptable.
All
Really
right.
stinky ones, really bad.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a 4, 4.25, 3.75, and then Stu. But Stu doesn't count because he liked Ricky O. He really liked Ricky O a lot. So
Yeah.
I liked Ricky O. Well, no, I didn't like Ricky O more than this. This was objectively much more well made than Ricky O. Ricky O's a lot of fun.
okay. All right.
Ricky O is a lot of fun.
All right. So go to ConnecticutCultClassics.com, and I'm sure we have another vote going on. If we don't, you can go there and find the previous episodes we talked about earlier. Where do you keep those under there? Archives, Lair? What do you have?
For the Scary Larry stuff, it's generally right on the voting page.
Okay.
And for the Universal stuff, there is another page of I think it's called In the News, where I have interviews I've done and any podcasts I've been on. It's,
all right.
It's in there.
So go check Larry out there. Stu, anything you want to throw out there besides the website?
Yeah, website gotstratosphere.com. I spend a lot of time on Twitter at gotstratosphere. You can come interact with me on there. Yeah, that's about it.
Check us out, Pint of Comics. You know where we are weekly, right here. And Manster, go ahead, get us out.
See ya.